Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to The Camera Adds 10 Pounds. I'm your host, Peter Surs, and before we start, do me a favor, guys. If you're new here, or even if you're not new here, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, it would mean the world to me if you just press pause or just keep listening, but go on Apple Podcasts, leave me a review, rate the podcast. You could subscribe if you like. It helps me with the algorithm, and I can't explain algorithms, but just know that it helps me. And if you want to help me, that's what you can do. And before we start, just so you guys know, this podcast is brought to you by my friends at Performa.com. Performa.com has all of your fitness accessories like this wonderful shaker cup. They've got shaker cups, they've got workout towels, they've got meal prep bags, meal prep containers, wrist straps, all kinds of stuff for your fitness enthusiasts to look cool at the gym. So if you want to go to Performa.com, enter promo code 10 pounds. That's the word 10, the word pounds, and you will save 15% off your order. And this podcast is also brought to you by my good friends at Bucked Up Supplements. Bucked Up has all of your fitness supplement needs. So we got your accessories with Performa, and now we got your supplements. They've got everything from pre-workout to post-workout to protein powders to meal replacements to vitamins to amino acids, just everything you need for your fitness goals. Fat loss, muscle gain, it's all there. Go to buckedup.com, enter promo code 10 pounds. For them, it's the number 10 and the word pounds, and you will save 20% off your order. Okay, we've done that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest by miracle of the internet again with technology. You know how things are. We're going through a pandemic right now, apparently. So we can't always have people in person, but we have the next best thing. We're on Zoom. This young lady I've known for, 7 years, maybe ish, right? Actually, we'll probably talk about how we actually met on this podcast, but she's a comedian, she's a content creator, writer, producer, actor. She's got a short film that she wrote and created that's available on Amazon right now called The X. And right now she's currently working on crowdsourcing, that's what it's called, right? For a new short film that she has written called Waiting for the Punchline. Like I said, I've known her for quite a while. You guys are going to love her. You guys are going to get to know her. This is the first time on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my friend, Christina Leonard.
Oh, thank you, Pete. I am so happy to be here. You're so eloquent. This is amazing.
I've learned that, not to toot my own horn, but I'm actually not bad at podcasting. I found my groove, I guess we can say. Okay, so Christina, if you guys are listening right now, she's rocking a Led Zeppelin vintage tee, and I am rocking a Whiskey A Go-Go vintage tee. So we kind of got the same vibe here.
Cool.
Yeah, how are you doing, Christina? First off.
Oh my gosh. Well, today I'm doing really great. I woke up this morning and went for a run, and then I did some emailing stuff. And then I came to find out that we are halfway funded for Waiting for the Punchline as of this morning. So I'm on top of the world right now. I am good. I submitted my film, The X, for some festivals, and I'm going to be, I don't know. I'm good. I'm doing well considering the fact that California pandemic is not an ideal situation.
Yeah. It seems like you're still flourishing. So that's good. You know, I know you guys are doing you guys are doing shows still kind of like online and stuff. And then now did you write this film during this whole situation?
I actually started writing this in 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it originated when I was working at a pool hall. We were friends at the time, and I remember because you would have shows at Flappers. I would be at the pool hall, and then I would be like, I don't know if I can come, Pete. I don't know if I'll be off work in time. And then I remember once I got off work in time, and I walked down the street to your show and entered through the back alley. Anyway, so I was working there. I started writing this show about the crazy characters at this bar. And then when I started working at Flappers, I was already doing stand-up, as you know, but I was like, well, I should just set it in a comedy club because that's so much better than, and then it just kind of, it went through so many drafts, but I put it on the back burner for like 3 years. And then I sort of picked it up again shortly before the pandemic. And and I did a lot of rewrites, and then I was going to gear up to shoot it, and then COVID happened. So it's sort of it went through a lot of its major rewrites during the pandemic.
Okay. So how, like, do you have any idea of kind of like how long it is right now?
It's about 12. It'll be about 12 minutes long.
Okay.
And it was originally meant to be a pilot, but I cut it down so it can be its own short film, but also I would still like to use it as a proof of concept for a larger scale TV show.
I like it. Now, didn't you, and I'm sorry if I'm getting them a little mixed up, but didn't you also crowdsource another film like before that, like about heavy metal or something, right?
Yeah, back in 2013, I crowdfunded on Kickstarter for my web series, Loch Ness, the web series.
That's right, Loch Ness. That's right.
Yeah, and wow, we have been friends a long time. That was the second project I produced in LA, and that we raised 10 grand for that. There's 5 episodes. That's on YouTube, so you guys can watch that.
Yeah, that's impressive, dude. Because the thing is like, as you know, I mean, it's kind of different, but it's also not like. I feel like when you're in like the entertainment industry and like trying to, you know, like we're both kind of on the same boat. We're like, we're trying to we're working hard towards our careers. You know, we've been at it for quite some time, and you know, it is what it is. You know, some people it takes longer, whatever. Like, I don't know, but you're still doing things. But to raise that kind of money, to get like that many people to commit to giving you that amount of money, like that's pretty impressive. Like I don't understand how you did it, to be honest. Not that like you're not worthy of it, but like it's hard to get people to fucking part with money for something.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people are like, why don't you just do GoFundMe, or can I Venmo you? And I get that, but part of the reason I do use these platforms is because they make it fun and they force you to put a lot of effort into it with rewards, with making a really cool video. So you have to already make some sort of product video wise for basically free before you even start raising your money, just to prove to people that you're not a total sham, you know?
Right.
But I mean, it is, I'm just totally blown away by people's generosity. I mean, we had 100 backers for Loch Ness, and I had 3 or 4 other producers I was working with. So we were compiling people from all of our resources.
Okay.
Now for this, we have almost 200 backers already. My actors and my director are like spreading the word as well, but I'm the only producer on this because I just really didn't want, I felt like before with Loch Ness, I was putting too much pressure on the other producers, because I don't know if I was putting pressure on them, but I felt like there were some fine lines there, because it wasn't their project that they wrote, you know, but they were being paid a very small amount of money at the end from what we all earned, you know. But I just was like, you know what, this is my thing. I'm just going to kind of get behind the crowdfunding on my own, because it's a difficult, stressful matter that I don't want to put anyone else through. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
Pimp it out. Like, that's more than amazing. But I don't want anyone on my production team or cast to feel like that's an obligation for them. I just want them to have fun. And then at the end of the day, we do our jobs and we have a great time and we end up with a great project. But I'm blown away by the generosity of people that have contributed to this. Like, and I mean, it's just, there's a lot of people that really do believe in art and want to support other artists. And it really is making me see just, there's so much good in people.
Yeah, I like it. Like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, even like not even specific to like entertainment, but like if you have a company, in a perfect world, all of your employees will want to work just as hard as you do. But there's a pretty good chance that because they don't have an interest in it, like a vested interest, they might work as hard as you, but probably the boss at whatever company, in this instance, you know, is going to be the one that should be working hard because it's their thing, you know? So I get that. I just, that's, do you have like a deadline that you're like a date you're shooting for?
Yeah, so with all the campaigns, it's a 30-day campaign. That you can do a 45-day campaign. That's less popular. So I started mine. I launched it on February 12th because my birthday was February 13th. Right. And I was like, if you're going to give me money, it's my birthday, So I know that I think that worked well. So March 14th will be our last day. We have 15 days left. I know that the podcast isn't going to come out today, but from the day we're recording this, we have 15 days left until the 14th. See. So
what's today? Hold on. Bam. And bam. Okay. Do you know what I'm going to do? Ooh. I'm going to make sure that, because I have already episode that's going to, so when they hear this, they'll still have like a little bit less than a week.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
To contribute. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that because, cool. Also, coincidentally, the 14th is Matt Taylor's birthday. So,
oh my God. Matt is our mutual friend
which is how we met.
Yeah, along with Pete and Matt got me into stand-up.
That's right.
7 years ago.
That's crazy. So, okay.
Andrea.
So I've talked about him and on this podcast for different reasons because I worked with him for so long and I met so many people through him. So if you're new to this podcast or whatever, I befriended a guy, Matt Taylor, who was a comedy producer in LA, and he would produce these shows. They call them bringer shows in LA, and it kind of has like a bad stigma, and like I get it, but basically the gist is, people like Christina or whoever that want to perform at a comedy club on a show on a certain day can, sign up for these things, provided you bring, X amount of people, right? Sometimes it's 5, 7, 10, whatever. And people don't like doing it because they feel like it's taking advantage of people. And it's like, I mean, it's like this. And I've told people, I get where you're coming from. It's like, you don't have to perform on these shows. You can go to an open mic, but a lot of open mics you're going to go to and pay $5 to be on the open mic, right? Most of the time, especially the ones in LA, at least, like you have to pay to be on them. So it's like, okay, well, you could fork out your own money, or you could maybe get some of your friends to come watch you, and then other people's friends are watching them. So, if you don't like doing it, that's fine. But when you're trying to start in stand-up comedy, there's only so many avenues. It's not like all the comedy clubs are like, oh, you want to do comedy? Cool, come to our stage. It's not how it works. You got to figure something out. So anyway, I was helping Matt, run these shows and getting people to be on the shows. And that's how I met Christina. She did her first. Was your first show at the Comedy Store, or was it one of the ones at the Hungarian restaurant?
Oh my God. My first show was at the Hungarian restaurant. My second show was at the power went out. It was great because I did have a lot of friends come, and they were so happy because the power went out, and then they got all their drinks for free.
Oh, at the Hungarian place?
Yeah, it was called, wasn't it called Duna's?
Duna Skarda, which is spelled Scarda, I believe. It's a Hungarian word. I don't know what it means, but yeah. So it was this little Hungarian restaurant. And coincidentally, Matt lived like right down the street. And one day he had just been walking by, saw that they had a piano in the corner, and walked in and was like, oh, like, do you guys have live music here? They're like, yeah, maybe sometimes. He's like, what about live comedy? They're like, no. He's like, you want to let me have live comedy? And then all of a sudden we're running this fucking show there. And I tell you what, man, that was a fun time for me. Like just doing that, like, we would have we would have like a show at the Comedy Store on Thursdays usually. And then we would do Duna and Fridays. And a lot of times we were doing 2 shows, Fridays, Saturdays. So basically I'm doing, 5 shows a weekend as a, fairly new comic still. Like that was so vital to my like ability to just get up regularly as a new comic, and then because we had these cool shows with like decent crowds and sometimes really big crowds, a lot of the other comics, like the working comics in town, wanted to do these shows. So then I would meet, this person and this person. And then that's how I still talk about it. Like a lot of the guys that took me to go open for them and still take me to open for them sometimes are people that I met helping Matt with his shows, So it's like, I know people, you know, in town would get mad because what happened was, you know, people knew or understood or supposed to understand that they have to bring a certain amount of people to the show. Otherwise, they don't get to perform. And so some people would get upset with that and then talk shit about Matt and whatever, because maybe they didn't bring anybody. And I get it too. Like I said, I get it, but I did it, you know, for a while, bringing people. And then I figured out a way to make myself valuable so that I didn't have to do that and I can still do shows. So it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I went through that too. Like, I mean, I think it's a great way to get started.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking back, I wish that so what I did is, as you know, I did the bringer shows and then I burnt my friends out, because you can only do that for so long before you burn your friends out, unless you want to get a new friend group.
Of course.
So then I kind of was like, I remember I told Matt, I was like, I have to quit comedy. I can't keep doing this. And he laughed at me. He's like, okay, good luck. I looked 7 years later. He knew I wasn't quitting. So I took a break for like a month and then I started doing open mics. But I wish I could have, well, I guess I did end up then I started doing bringer shows again, just once in a while, you know? Right. And I was kind of, so that way, I just wish I had been doing open mics earlier at the same time I was doing the bringer shows so that I could prepare, because I just didn't know that you can prepare. But like you said, with the open mics, not only do they cost money sometimes, but also the good thing about a new comedian doing a bringer show is that oftentimes at open mics, the only audience is all comedians. And even if there's a lot of comedians, they're all on their phones. They're not paying attention. They've heard your jokes before. You don't know if what you're doing is actually going to land. And if it was somebody like me who's been waitressing all night and I get there late, by the time I go on stage, there's only 4 people left to hear my jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the thing too, is like, you know, my first time on stage was one of Matt's shows, and I was, you know, that's all the kind of stage time I knew. And then I was like, same thing. Like I started going to mics a little bit and I was like, oh, this is awful, because like, I know these jokes work, but nobody's laughing. So like, what am I doing to like, why am I doing these open mics? And then I realized like, okay, well, it's just all, like you said, it's all comics. They're not paying attention. They're waiting for their turn to go up. They leave after their set is over. So it's like, I need to figure out a way to be in front of real people, not just comics. But like you said too, like, I don't want to, eventually my friends are going to not want to come anymore. So I need to figure something out. And then, like I said, I figured out a way to make myself valuable. I worked the door for Matt. I was a bartender. I think you came after. We used to do this like little speakeasy room. It was like a little theater that we used to rent out. And basically it was like, I want to say it was like $20 to get in, but then we had alcohol. So we were like literally serving drinks to everybody. So you could drink, we had like tequila, vodka, like whatever you could, rum and like soda and juice. And like people were getting fucked up at our show. For $20, you got a comedy show and all the alcohol. And because of the value of it, we were packing that place out. So like, it was like a small little theater. So it was like maybe 50 people, but like we were packing it out. We had big comics. We had Bill Burr fucking roll through our fucking room. You know what I mean?
Matt was doing, so I ended up working with Matt. Brian Swinehart and I were producing a show, and we did that with Matt. That was at oh my God, Fado Dough in Culver City. We did that for a while, and then Matt had that show at Fourth Wall, and I was waitressing and doing stand up, and it was the same thing where we had the like vodka rum, and you know, that was a different deal because it was free to, I think it was free to get in, but then they did have to pay for the drinks and stuff. But
don't say that on the internet. I think that's not legal. I don't know.
Well, maybe you can cut that part out. Sorry, I didn't know that. I don't know.
I don't know either, honestly.
I don't know what the law is. You guys, I was just waitressing. I was just doing stand-up. I don't know what behind the scenes. But my point is, the speakeasy thing sounds really cool. Do you remember what theater it was?
Yes, I do. It was, I don't know if this is the name of it, but it was called the Eavesdropper Theater. It was over on Wilcox.
Oh my God, I love those little theaters.
Yeah,
so cool.
It was on Wilcox, like just south of Hollywood Boulevard. North of Sunset, but very like just south of Hollywood Boulevard. And they used to do like a play there called Eavesdropper. And the funny thing was like Eavesdropper was a play same thing. It was like a bring or play. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, you would go to this audition, and I went to the audition one time, and they were like, oh, we're going to cast you in this. Just promote this show and try to get 5 people to come to each show. And I was like, eh. And I read this, and then I was going to do it too. And I remember he had me come watch like a performance of it, and it was just so bad. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. But then we ended up having our comedy show there. So I was like, oh, well, that works out. So, but it's not there anymore. It's a coffee shop now.
Oh my God. Well, I'm going to have to drive by Hollywood and Wilcox. And, you know, I mean, so many things have changed around. You probably hadn't been doing stand-up that long when I met you. When did you start?
I started in 2012. So like a year in. Basically. Okay.
So you were a year in when I met you, or like a year and a half in maybe.
Yeah. I started in August of 2012. Like I said, did Matt's shows. Figured out that eventually my friends were not going to come, and then figured out a way. Like he taught like a class. So I took a class with him, because I really like, once I got into stand-up, like once I did my first show, I was like, well, that's it. This is what I'm going to do forever. Like, this is my job now. I just need to figure out how to do it. I just knew that I wanted just to take in all the information and just get up as much as I can. And so I don't remember how far into doing like all these shows I kind of started working with him, where I didn't have to bring people anymore, but it was within like the first few months. And then after that, like I just, you know, helped him book people and whatever. And then I started working with John after that. And then, you know, and then I kind of started working like professionally. So it's like, you know, it's been a fun ride so far. I love it.
So exciting.
Now here I am, you know, getting to go to all these, you know, weird places that I've never been to before, and sometimes places that I've been to before. I love it. I think everyone's, you know, obviously everyone's journey is different, but I like my journey, you know, it's great. I love it. I couldn't picture, I mean, having like a job, like a real job.
And I know, I can't either. I mean, I don't ever I can't imagine like working in an office. That just sounds terrible to me. Although I do like the idea of being on a TV show and working at the same place every day. So I know that's kind of like a 9 to 5 thing, but I do want some consistency. Like, I don't want to be a road I've never wanted to be like a road comic or anything like that.
What do you have against road comics, Christina?
I have nothing against it. I just, that's not what I want to do. I do like traveling, and I do like doing that once in a while, you know, like I want to, like the film festivals I just submitted to, a couple were in Austin, one's in Portland, one's in Oregon. I would love to, and I had done this like a couple years ago, go to different places I've never been, do stand up, and then have a film in a festival.
Oh, yeah.
That's just so fun for me. But I just don't want that to be like what I do. Like, that's not my end goal. You know, I want a little more consistency. But if it's consistency, it needs to be creative consistency.
Okay. So like, ideally, what's your, like, let's say 10 years from now, what is your ideal situation?
That would be acting in a TV show, a sitcom.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you created?
Ooh, yeah, that even better.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And then would you still do stand-up, and then you'd be the girl that's on that show? Or would you back and be like, fuck this stand-up, too many dudes anyway, I'm getting the fuck out of here?
Oh no, I think I would do stand-up on select shows that I wanted to do.
Okay.
I don't think I would ever want to I think I would be sad not doing stand-up at all, but I don't think I would want to be like every night, because I remember being when I've done like a lot of independent films, and then I'm like rushing to wrap to go do a stand-up show, and I know like Jeff Garland, for example, is always like wrapping a show and going to Flappers, or there's so many examples. And I mean, I don't know. Now that I think about it, that doesn't sound so bad either. I don't think I'm going to know. I also, don't know if I want a family or if I want I don't really think I want kids, but I probably want to be married. And if I'm married and I'm working all day on set and then I leave to go do stand up, that doesn't leave time for a partner. So that's why, that's why I think that it would have to be like, maybe like I only do stand up on the weekends, you know, like I have a show once a week on like a Friday or something like that.
Okay. Just asking. Yeah.
But I'm figuring it out as we talk, if you can't tell.
I mean, the thing is like, I had it all figured out until all this shit happened, and then I didn't. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I thought I was making plans like before the pandemic. I was in a relationship with another comedian, and we had like.
Really?
Yeah, a week before.
Oh, I don't think I knew this.
We had gone to San Diego and done a bunch of mics the week before the pandemic. I was going hard with stand-up, Pete. I was doing mics like every day. And I was for the past few years, I've been like every night I worked at Flappers, I did a mic either before, during, or after my shift. And then I tried to do another mic somewhere else before or after my shift. Like I was really hardcore. Yeah. I was constantly producing a show for the past probably 3 years, whether it was the metal show I was doing, the Nebraska show, or the one with Brian.
Maybe you didn't produce this, but I feel like there was a show where you were like dressing up as Princess Leia doing stand-up. Was that your show? Or
no, it wasn't mine. Kyle Kreis had cosplay company. And so
there it is.
I had a set, so he would book me on a lot of those, and we would go to conventions and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. So would that be like are you doing stand-up as Princess Leia, or are you doing stand-up just dressed like Princess Leia?
Oh, I had a separate set as Leia.
So you're Leia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Do you remember any of your Leia jokes?
Yeah. So I always think that I want a man to fall madly in love with me, but every time I say I love you, I just expect him to respond back with,
I know.
That's the like intro, and then there's another one where it's like, oh my god. I mean, they're mostly sex jokes about Han, which got really uncomfortable because I don't remember. There's one joke I have about how I'm so mad that my baby's a Sith Lord, and and how Han was like, "Don't worry, babe, you're not gonna have a Sith Lord. If we had sex standing up, or something like that." That's not the joke. Anyway, my point is they were all weird sex jokes like that, and almost every convention, it was just like a bunch of kids in the audience, and that's why I stopped. I just couldn't keep doing them. I just felt so uncomfortable. Because kids are like, "Oh, Princess Leia," and I'm just like making jokes about Han Solo.
Right. I went to Disney World a couple weeks ago, and finally got to see Star Wars Galaxy. What's it called? Galaxy's Edge and whatever. Have you been to that at Disneyland?
Yeah, I went in August of 2019.
Okay. See,
the big ride wasn't ready yet.
Okay, yeah. So I had never been. And this is my first time experiencing it. And first of all, like, I fucking loved it, dude. Like, it was so fucking awesome. I cried. It was just so fucking cool. And I mean, and every time I watch like a Star Wars film or something, I get emotional because I talk about it in this podcast, but like my mom used to take me to all the Star Wars movies when I was a kid. And then, my mom's not there. So like, there's just little things that like my mom used to do with me that like now as an adult, when I do them, like it makes me think of her. But Star Wars is like one of them. But everybody, like there were so many couples at Disneyland, Disney World, with those shirts that say, like, one of them would say "I love you" and the other one would say "I know," and it was just like funny. I'm like, God, it was really cool. Like, I don't consider myself a nerd, but because like I do love Star Wars, like I guess like I can classify as one. And if you don't know those references, then you're not in the know, so you're not a nerd. But like, I don't know, it was just fun. Like there was so many, like there were so many people with like Star Wars shit on. Like, it was unbelievable. I'm like, damn, Disney's fucking making fucking bank, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they're just printing fucking money, dude. Like, because I mean, all the Baby Yoda stuff, or I'm sorry, Grogu stuff. Like, there's so much stuff. Like, I'm just like, God. And they have like they have like the thing where you could build your own lightsaber and stuff, I was like, God, I can't fucking do this. Like, I wanted to, but I'm like, I can't. I mean, really responsible with my money. But they also have a thing where you could build your own droid.
Yeah, a friend of mine, the friend I went with, works for a website called Mouse Planet, which is through Disney.
Oh, yeah.
He gets discounts on stuff. He built his own droid. He has one at his apartment. It's so cool.
It's fucking cool, right?
Yeah,
and
I think I would actually prefer that to the lightsaber.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, and you have like little, like they have like little chips where like you can change their like their sound, like their beeps and shit, and like give them different personalities. And I'm like, this is fucking genius. It's basically Build-A-Bear but with fucking droids.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, when the pandemic is over and I have more consistent income, I'm probably gonna drop my money on this fucking thing. But
yes.
I've been very responsible with my money because this is the first time. I mean, I've always not been great with money, but that is one thing, silver lining of this pandemic, is that I really was like, oh, I should probably have like money saved, and like I probably don't need a new pair of shoes all the time, and like I should have, you know, just like an emergency fund. So that is one lesson that I've learned during this pandemic.
Yeah, well, with me, it's also like just not knowing when the money's gonna come or where it's coming from, and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I know you run a lot. You even before pandemic and stuff. Is that what you're doing still? Because obviously gyms are not open still.
Yeah, I've been doing yoga also. I have a friend that teaches yoga on Zoom, so I usually do that twice a week, and then I run almost every other day. I'll take a day off where I've also been walking. So I'll usually run, and then later I'll go for a walk. If I have time. I've been working a little bit, there've been a few random part-time gigs. So when I do that, I don't really have time to like just do a walking journey, you know, that's right. Like it. But yeah, I was weightlifting. When I say weightlifting, I mean you guys for toning. I'm not trying to bulk up or anything. And I do have weights here. I have free weights. So I can still do that. But I don't really do that as much now that the gym is closed. It's harder to.
Because you were going to 24, right? Up in NoHo or something, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I quit there. And I did join LA Fitness briefly in the summer, but then they closed, which was fine. I didn't really feel safe doing it. I was going at 6 o'clock in the morning because I was like, okay, if I'm going to go to like the cesspool of COVID, at least I'm going to go here at the crack of dawn before anyone else.
They were open?
They opened I think they opened in July, and they were open.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because that was one of the times that I went back home. Was because they had kind of opened the gyms up, and so I was like, okay, cool, we're good. Like I can go back to work and everything. And then I got back home and they fucking shut everything down again, and I was like, God damn it!
I got super shamed for going to the gym. I have a joke about the gym, and I told the joke on a Zoom show, and I got heckled. I got heckled on Zoom for the first time for going to the gym. Right.
Listen, so I don't. All those fucking people can go fuck themselves. Seriously, I'm so.
Well, I kind of am one of those people, because like if people aren't wearing masks around me, I stop hanging out with them because I just don't want to risk it. Like it's not a personal thing; it's just a safety thing.
Yeah, I get that. But like, so like, for example, like the gyms are open here where I'm at right now, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. But you have to wear a mask at the gym.
Yeah.
And you can take it off while you're like, if you're running on the treadmill or if you're fucking lifting weights or whatever, like you can take it off. A lot of people leave them on still. But you have to have a mask when you're walking around the gym. So it's kind of like you know, I don't know. I know that restaurants aren't open there, or maybe outdoor is again, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
But here, like you have to wear a mask when you walk into the restaurant, And then once you're at your table, you can take it off, which makes no fucking sense, but that's what it is. So same thing is at the gym is like, if people are wearing masks and they're cleaning everything, like they have staff cleans like on the hour, there's disinfectant wipes, there's spray, there's like, it's very safe. It's safer to be at the, and then this is coming from someone who's been in the fitness industry for almost 20 years. Like, it's safer than being at Target or Walmart.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
They ain't fucking cleaning the shit that we touch at Walmart or Target, you know? And yeah, that you can socially distance in lines, but like, who knows what person has touched something or whatever. Like, so for all those people that are like talking shit about being at the gym, like, don't fucking go, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
some of us have issues mentally that we need that thing so that we don't fucking go crazy. And
that's how I justified it as well. I was having a lot of body dysmorphia. I was feeling bad about myself, and you know, and that's why, you know, and I know California is different than Oklahoma. I have a friend that lives in Oklahoma, and the cases are much worse here, and they're not as bad right now, but you know, they have been worse. So you guys are also in a different situation, I believe, anyway.
For sure, totally.
You know, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't have to make the decision to quit the gym on my own, that they they just shut down, and I was just like, okay, well, I don't have to feel afraid, but then I did have to figure out my like yoga running ordeal again.
I mean, because I was working at, I mean, I had a bunch of, I have a lot of equipment that I used when I was still in LA and I couldn't go to the gym. Like I got like balls and bands and fucking ropes and sandbag, all kinds of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I need heavy weights. Like, I know I could go slower with things, but like I need to like exert myself. And so the only way I can do that is with heavy. And I was trying to buy weights, but they fucking sold out everywhere. And they're still sold out at most places, you know, or like if people did have them, they were like price gouging, trying to charge like 2 or 3 times or more what they were worth. And I was like, whatever, dude. So when I realized that gyms are open here, and I could at least make some money while I'm here, I was like, you know what, man?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to go for a while. And here we are, fucking
that makes sense.
Almost a year later, for crying out loud. Jesus.
It is so close.
It is. So, okay. So how far do you run every day? Is it like a time? Is it a distance?
It's pretty short now. I only run for like 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because I still have a lot on my day, and I also my feet are not the way they used to be. If I run like an hour, I get stress fractures, and it took me like quite a few years to kind of repair that damage. So now I can run, you know, sometimes if I want to run for like 45 minutes or longer, like I'll be fine. I just can't do that every day.
Right.
But I used to run for like an hour or sometimes 2 every day when I was like around the time when we first met, and it just fucked me up, you know, and I, you know, even when I was younger, when I was like 19, I would go to the doctor and they'd be like, you need to take some time off of running. And I just wouldn't, I just never would. So, but it's good. And that's why I usually do like a longer walk later, something like that. Okay. But it feels good for me.
Yeah. I tell people like I'm training for a marathon right now. But like running has obviously multiple physical and mental benefits. But it also has some drawbacks. Like it's very high impact. And as you get older, I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but you're not as young as you were when we met. You know, you've gotten 7 years older. You know, your body starts to be like, hey man, we're not 20 anymore. Like I can't do this every day. And it goes with me too. Like that's why I started doing yoga, was because, you know, I lift all these weights and I do all these things. And then my body was like, hey man, like my back would be sore, like something would just feel wrong. And then I incorporated yoga into my training, and it actually really helped. And I used to hate yoga, but now I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. But it took me a while to.
Yeah. Cause I think with anything, the right instructor like works wonders, you know, like and that goes with any kind of, like, if you go to a boxing class or go to, you know, a circuit class or whatever, like, because I've taken, you know, circuit classes are open here, and I went to this place, I'm not going to name it, but they have them all over the place, this specific studio. And like the workout is fine, but it's just like, it's just not fun, you know? And I'm just like, this instructor sucks, whatever. I'm not going to come back here. But like with a good yoga instructor, or if maybe I had a good instructor, I would go back. So like, I feel like for me, that was what really helped me get into yoga, was the fact that I got a good introduction with a good instructor. And now I'm like, oh, okay. So.
Yeah, me too. My friend Sarah, she's come to a lot of my shows. She's come to shows that I've been on of yours. And she started teaching when we were friends. She taught yoga in the park, and then she started working at Electric Soul and some other places. And I was taking class with her. She's just the most loving, amazing teacher. And so she teaches on Zoom. And I know I have friends that do like YouTube yoga, and I don't. I do it with Sarah, and I pay her because I would rather pay for a class it's donation based. I'm not, you know, losing all my money. I mean, because I don't have that much money right now to spend, but I would, and to a set time to do it, it changes everything. It really does. I would much rather, you know, and I mean, I'll probably check out some of the other stuff at some point if this pandemic goes on for another fucking year. But
man, I hope not, dude. If I can't, okay, let me ask you this. I mean, it's on the same topic. What's the thing that you miss the most that you can't do right now because of COVID?
You know, I probably miss going to movies, which is weird because I mean, I watch a lot of Netflix and shit, but I always liked going to movies.
The movie experience, dude. I talked about it. Like sitting in a movie theater, like with the sound, and like, I don't eat popcorn because I used to work at a movie theater, and I know how they fucking clean those things, and it's fucking gross.
Yeah.
But like, it does, the smell of it does add to the ambiance. Having people there experiencing, you know, like a scary movie, for example, like where everybody jumps and whatever, and then there's like that little giggle after everybody jumps, you know, because it's like, oh, they got you too, like, you know what I mean? Or if you're going to like a funny movie and everyone's just fucking like, you're cracking up laughing, like, I do miss that, like, for sure. And we had, and the thing about LA too is like, we have so many cool places to see a movie. Like, you could go to like the ArcLight and experience like the best, or you could go to like fucking the Beverly and experience like a little bit more like vintage style movie theater. Or you can go, have you ever been to the Vista?
Oh, I love the Vista. I saw Black Panther there.
Oh my, like, I fucking, that place to, like, I love, like, what were we watching? We were watching something that was like reenacting LA in like the 50s, or actually maybe even earlier. And it was like, you know, you see all these old cars, and you see like downtown LA the way it used to be with like all the neon lights and stuff. And you're like, the Vista is like that. It's like a throwback to like those times. They did it
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, but I love that movie too. That movie's fucking awesome. It was literally something that I just watched, and I'm trying to figure out what it was. It'll come to me. It might have, you know what it was? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the documentary about the Cecil Hotel.
Oh yeah, I actually was gonna start watching that last night, and then I was like, I need to go to bed. So I might watch that tonight.
I think that's the most recent thing I've watched that I can remember that has about, and I think there's like a little snippet of like, because that hotel had been there forever, you know. Wait, so you haven't watched it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Because you're a horror fan and stuff, you will probably enjoy it. I was really disappointed at the payoff, though. I'll just say that. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but now, did you watch the Night Stalker documentary?
No, is that good?
That's fucking good, dude.
I'll watch that. It's being written down in the book here.
We lived in East LA when like the Night Stalker was doing his thing, you know, So like, I remember all that shit. Like, I remember us putting bars on our windows because of that. I remember when they caught him, it was very close to where we lived. Do you know how they caught him?
No.
I feel like I shouldn't ruin it for you then.
Yeah, don't even tell me anymore. I'm gonna watch this and then I can talk to you after.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, but I just remember, I saw, this isn't spoiling too much, but they caught him very close to where we lived. And I remember my mom crying. And I'm like, Mom, why are you crying? She's like, they caught him in Boyle Heights. I'm like, okay. She's like, we live in Boyle Heights. I was like, oh, wow. Like, I was like 5 or 6 or something.
You didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get it. And now I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, because when the documentary does a really good job of explaining, like, all I knew as a kid was like, there was this guy breaking in and killing people. And that's why we put bars on our windows. Like, that was all I kind of knew. But that documentary is really good. To see someone, it's like, it had potential, but anyway. But what was my point? Oh, just seeing like, the Vista Theater and you missing theaters and stuff. I love the Vista. It's just so pretty. And like, they did a great job with that place.
They did. I love all the areas around that. I love the Wacko Gallery, which is right down the street. Have you ever been there?
No, so I haven't.
Oh God, when you get back to LA, you'll have to go. It's very cool.
What is it?
It's like there's like a little kind of weird art gallery that's part of a shop that it's one of those shops that has odd kitschy things like for example, there's like a toilet spray that says Vladimir Putin. You know, one of those kind of shops where there's like, it's like you can buy funny socks, but then there's also like tons of incense and like weird stones, like, which is odd because I actually had a stone sitting here and I think my cat did something with it.
Oh no.
That's odd. That's very weird. I don't think she would have eaten it, but okay, I'll cross that bridge later. Anyway, it's one of those weird kind of like, it's not like a witch shop and it's not just like a whoopee cushion shop and it's not just an art gallery. It's not just a card shop. There's also books, you know, but it's like all of those things in one.
Okay. The Wacko Gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the thing I miss the most is being able to go to a Dodger game.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know me.
I see you have your Dodgers things there, which is good. But are the Dodgers, I mean, I know it's not baseball season right now,
it's almost, we're almost there.
So are they going to play?
They're going to play. I mean, they played last year. It was a weird season. They had to make I don't know how much you know, but basically normally in the baseball season, there's 162 games. Mm-hmm. And last year, because of the pandemic and whatever, it was a shortened season. So they only played 60 games last year. And normally there's 30 teams in Major League Baseball. I want to say 16 in the National League. And anyway, normally you play all the teams in your division a bunch of times, and then you play other teams X amount of times. And so, but last year, because of COVID, they restricted it to you're only playing teams in your region to cut on how like far people had to travel, you know, because of COVID. So it was a really short season and they only played certain teams within their region. Whereas now this year they're going forward with the schedule because they have rapid testing now and whatever, and everyone's, slowly but surely getting vaccinated. So they're supposed to start the season April 1st, just like they were. I don't know what the deal is with them being able to allow fans, because certain places have limited fans, like Texas, probably Kansas, like everywhere, like kind of like near me can have a little bit of fans. Florida can probably have some fans, but like obviously like California right now, the thing is they're talking about potentially having like 20% capacity at all the California stadiums, like when the season starts. I don't know if they're going to allow it or not, but when there's baseball and there's fans in the stands, I will be there.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm ready for, I'm really hoping that there's this, that would be wonderful, and I mean, I know that there's this other strain of COVID that's going around that's easier, that's scary. Yeah. But I'm hoping that the vaccine just wins, I'm hoping the vaccine wins and that, we can.
Same. I don't know about this COVID, I mean, you're a comic, so I think that we probably share at least acquaintances that have kind of gone off the deep end when it comes to like conspiracies.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I found the stone. Thank God.
Oh, there we go. We got it. We got it.
Thank you. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, like so many people are into like all the conspiracies and stuff. And so because of that, I honestly don't know what to believe with what's what. I listen to scientists and whatnot, and it sounds like I know they said that they want another 200 million vaccines by the end of May, which is very promising. I don't know if they're going to get that, but that's what they're saying. But then I saw this like big time science, I don't know what his title is, but he was saying that he expects us to also, because of the lower transmission rates, and because of the vaccines, that he thinks that we might get also, we might have herd immunity by the end of May as well. And I'm like, I fucking hope, man. I really do, because, because I'm doing all these clubs right now. Thankfully I've been working a little bit more of late, but they're all still operating at limited capacity as well. It's not like, everything's open in Texas and Oklahoma and all these places where I'm at, but they're still like limited capacity. They're socially distanced tables as well, So it's like, I just want like I did a club last week where it was a great club, beautiful, so fun, but there was something missing because of how far apart people were spread out.
Yeah.
So it was like the laughs didn't hit, even though like they were hitting, and like when you listen to it, it's like, oh, it sounds like I was fucking, doing really well. But like in the moment, you can't, how you can feel like laughs on you because the people are so close to you. That was kind of missing. So I just kind of hope that we can get back to that too, because I mean, entertainment is part of what makes LA,
Yeah.
Just any given night, you can do anything.
I'm excited because I did a couple of outdoor shows before the spikes went up here. But I'm gonna be, I haven't done one in a long time, and I've been doing a lot of Zoom shows, but I'm gonna do a live stream show. Flappers asked me to produce one on the main stage, so we'll all perform on the main stage, but then it'll be streamed online. But at least we get to perform on a stage, which I haven't done in quite a few months. I didn't really feel comfortable doing it over like the winter time when things were really bad here, and now I've just been so busy with my project that honestly I'm really glad that we're talking about this, and I hope this isn't too overdone for you guys listening, but it's just that I haven't really talked about COVID with people on podcasts or anything for a while, just because it's been like everybody talks about it, but it's just, things are starting to kind of change. So there's kind of some new things to talk about, I feel. And I actually realized just now talking to you that I haven't really looked up the latest news about COVID, and I'm learning some things from you that I didn't know. And I'm definitely going to do some research after this to like delve deeper into that, because it sounds really optimistic, and it's it's just nice to know. And
the fact that they're trying to get like limited fans at Dodger Stadium for opening day, like that to me tells me, I forget who I was talking to, but I'm like, it feels, I mean, like obviously it's probably going to go on for a few more months, but like at least a week, because the thing is like, I just wondered, and I get it, like there were tons of cases in California and LA and everything, but like when I was here and then I would go back home, and then I'm like, wait, well, why can't, because like the gyms, even though they're open, it's limited capacity, it's not full capacity, the machines are socially distanced, they have like cardio machines taped off, so like it's doable. So I was just always wondering, like, why can't they do that in California? Like why? Because if people don't want to go, they don't have to go, but like I do think that they should have a choice. And if they're taking all these measures here, I just don't know why they couldn't do it there. So like, I don't know. I mean, I'm no scientist, I don't know, but I just wish that they could have done that, so like more people could have kept their businesses open and whatnot. But I mean, it is what it is, man. But point being is, when they allow fans in Dodger Stadium, I will fucking be there.
Yes.
I missed that.
It's gonna be a good day.
Also, I miss you can appreciate it, like fucking concerts too, man.
I knew you were gonna. I was thinking that too. Yeah. I didn't go to a lot of concerts as much as I would like, just because of the money aspect, and movies are like a little cheaper. Yeah. But oh my God, I miss concerts. Yes. And I was starting to go to more of them. Oh my God.
I was supposed to go. So ironically, there's a festival called Rocklahoma.
Fun.
And it's usually in May. And then this past year, it was going to be on the weekend of my birthday, and Slipknot was headlining on my birthday. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go to Oklahoma, do some shows, and then go to the fucking, and then obviously COVID happened. But I was just like, fuck. So like, I haven't been to a concert in, I don't even know, like years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Wow. So like
the last concert I was at, I was going to, so this is kind of sad. I feel like this is really sad. So I had tickets to see, I had tickets to see Marilyn Manson and they were going to play together.
Yeah, I remember.
Now, it's so fucked up because Marilyn Manson turns out to be a fucking rapist, and Ozzy is having health problems. So they canceled the concert because of Ozzy's health problems, but it wouldn't have happened anyway because COVID struck.
Right.
But that was a concert, and I got my money back for that. And then I was going, though, to go in October. At the end of October, I was going to go see Amon Amarth, which is a Viking metal band that I loved. But it was like $60, and it was going to be at the Hollywood Palladium, I think.
Okay.
But the thing is, I had bought my tickets, but my friends from work that were going to come never bought their tickets. And then they were like, yeah, we're not going to go. So then I was like, okay, I have to go alone. And then you know how much I love Halloween. And so I had already spent like so much money on Halloween related shit that finally the weekend came, and I was like, okay, if I'm even going to pay my rent, I need to work a shift. And so I had to refund my tickets and work a shift that night in order to survive. So I totally didn't even go.
This is past Halloween?
This was okay. This was because this past Halloween concerts weren't happening.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But yeah, so I think the last concert I went to was probably Ailstorm, which is a band that I love, and I'm now friends with.
Wait, Ailstorm, not Hailstorm.
Ale like a beer.
I was like, yeah. I know Hailstorm, but I don't know Ailstorm.
Ailstorm is pirate metal. They're great. I'll send you their stuff. So
pirate like R.
Yes, like R.
I just discovered one of my guests a couple weeks ago shared that there's this genre of music called nerdcore rap. Are you familiar with this?
No, that sounds very subgenre as well, and I like it.
Okay, so, and we played a little sample of it. So there's this whole genre, it's called nerdcore rap, and they rap about like fucking Star Wars and Harry Potter and fucking Star Trek. I was blown away just the fact that it exists. I'm not saying it's good or whatever. I heard one song and it happened to be about Boba Fett, and I remember, I don't know the words, but I remember it was like DeLorean and Mandalorian. They rhymed them together, and I was like, yes. Fucking nerds, dude. This is crazy.
Oh my God. I have to listen to that. And I'm also going to send you, there's another band called Glory Hammer, which is just like epic, like sci-fi metal. Just, I love anything that's a weird subgenre. I can't wait to listen to, what is this? Nerdcore rap. I can't wait. So great.
Okay, Christina, I'm going to put it in the show notes, but just in case people are lazy, tell them where they can find you on social.
So go to Instagram. My name's Christina Marie Leonard with the CH, Christina Marie Leonard. And my website is myname.com.
Got it.
And those are the main things. YouTube, search my name, and got funny videos.
I'll try also. I think it'll let me put a link to your GoFund or it's Kickstarter, right?
It's actually called Seed and Spark.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
support filmmaking. But if you can't, or if there's any trouble, the link is in my Instagram bio. Okay, but yeah, it's just seedandSpark.com/fund/waiting-for-the-punchline. So it's like waiting for the punchline with little dashes between the words.
I'll put it. I'm pretty sure I could put it in the show notes. So, but it's in your bio, right?
In my bio. Yeah.
Okay. Well, dude, thank you for doing this. When you guys hear this, because I'm recording a little bit ahead of time in the future, I don't know. I will have just performed here. So I don't know what I have coming up show-wise as of the time I record this podcast, but if something comes up, I'll probably just go back and edit the end part and be like, I have a show here. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's COVID. It's a pandemic. So anyway, you guys, Christina, thank you for joining us. Thank you. It's good seeing you. Hope to see you in person sooner rather than later when this shit is all fucking over with. Thank you for hanging out with me. And you guys, again, this has been The Camera Adds 10 Pounds. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you guys later. Okay? Hang on. Don't hang up yet.